So if you're here, you're actually wondering how to make custom enemy movements to make your AI smart. You probably realize enemy movement is the most essential thing to making your AI smart, the most important thing, most likely, like in my opinion. Now that might vary, but I think that is what is the most important thing, to where an AI can essentially detect where to move and predict it from where your puppet is directing its movement towards. So let's go ahead and test this out. I'll show you what this is before we even start explaining, because this could be a long tutorial depending on how in depth I go with it, which I'm going to go completely in depth, but how fast I do it, I want to make sure that I say everything correctly. So here is my puppet tutorial, my movement tutorial. So as you can see, you can sense the direction of everything's movements. If you noticed, the default, the movements will just have it spin clockwise with you. I wanted something a little bit smarter because I thought that would be a little bit too easy, and I wanted to just put more effort into my game, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and start talking about this, and you can customize this to your liking, or you can just copy my settings down. Animations is important to get your movements looking right, but you can customize the way the arms, the feet are moving within the puppet's overall settings, if that makes sense. What you would want to do is press L1 and square on your puppet like that, and then this should pop up. And this stuff is very important. It's your movement speed, your run speed, your turn speed, very important. You can copy all my settings down if you guys just want to test it out for testing's sake. Your acceleration, your deceleration, how quickly it'll stop moving in a direction, very important. Don't overlook that. And then you have all these settings right here. Just copy them if you want to. And again, it's very important to mess with these settings, because some of these settings will change your arm movements and stuff like that, which mess with the overall animations. So just pause the video over stuff that you want to copy. Density is pretty much if it was like get hit by something, this can control the knockback. You can also group objects together, and that can increase the density, I do believe. So let's go ahead and get into the logic. First, before we get into the logic, let me show you guys that there's a tag within my puppet microchip, because this tag is important. This is the tag that my enemy boss character is actually looking for, and you can just move this dot wherever you need to move it towards the hitbox of your character if you need to. And you can look up my hitbox or Dreams PS4 how to make fighting games tutorial to learn about collisions and hitboxes and stuff like that. I just move this dot up here, and this right here is the tag. This is the tag name. That's the tag that I created that the boss character is looking for, the movement is looking for. Here is the movement microchip. This scene space direction is plugged into target position of a follower. Now the follower speed, all the speeds within these settings can affect the puppet speed and increase it. It pretty much adds to it. If you want to copy all my settings down for all of my logic in here, just for testing sake purposes, feel free to. X and Z movement. So I think Z is up and down, like if it was like, a top-down game, it's up and down like that. And I think X is left and right like this, I think. And then Y is jumping. It's like up and down, up and down. I think it could be like, I could have got it a little bit wrong, but that's essentially pretty much what it is. I know I got Y right. And this is plugged into the target position. Now our look at rotator, let me go ahead and explain the look at rotator. Notice we have the same tag. It's looking for this same tag right here. You can copy all my settings here. Just pause the video if you need to. it's plugged into a mover's direction of movement. I'll get to the mover here in a second. The look at rotator will make the front part of the puppet look towards this direction. Look towards the direction you have this pointer at. Sometimes you'll have your tag not perfectly centered, and that's why you'll have to like move it sort of in a slanted direction. That's the reason why you would have to do that. But essentially, these are my settings for this. It's pretty simple: X, Y, and Z, and whatnot. In combination with a mover, a look at rotator can tell the mover where to move. Scene space direction, so it's telling the mover the direction of your puppet. Since it's looking at the puppet, it'll be looking for that tag. It's actually telling the direction of the puppet to the mover, the direction of movement it needs to move. This is the essential AI. I have this on 50, 50, 4.2, and X, Z, Y is at 0, otherwise your character would fly. The direction, I don't think I messed with the direction too much. I think I just left it the same. And the look at rotators thing is put in there. Now we have a rotation sensor. So whenever if your main character was to make a circle like this, and if you didn't want it to move clockwise with your main character, and that's pretty much what this is for. It's also what this is for also. But that's what this is for. That's what this mover is for. So let me explain the X and Z movements a little bit more. So let's say Z, if this was in the positive, is like 2.5 instead of negative 2.5. 2.5 is like this. Negative 2.5 would be like this. And that's pretty much why I have these. Are both in the negative. Both in the negative. So if X is like this and Z is like this, the negative pretty much makes it go in the opposite direction. The reason this is important is because I think whenever it's rotating, whenever your character is rotating, if I had this in the positive and they just both move in the same direction, this makes your puppet boss character move towards the character instead of with the character. And that's plugged into the power of the advanced mover. Now you can mess with more settings. This can be worked upon if you want to make your boss harder. Just add one more mover or more movers, and then you can also pretty much make more movers whenever your boss is damaged. You can make it to where he gets even harder and stuff like that. So this can still be worked upon, but knowing the knowledge of this, you should pretty much be able to grasp it and do it yourself. Just add your own fundamentals that you've learned from dreams into this with this and apply it to your game. Now, animations is very important to get everything to look right. Pretty much you're trying to get the animation to match the speed, So make sure you have your animations done right for your puppet, your run animations. All your animations are right here. So if you're using a default puppet to test everything, or if you have default puppet settings, what you'll want to do, what you can do at least, is just click these dots right here, and that'll allow you to quickly edit your animations. Or you can look up my Dreams animation tutorial or puppet interface tutorial, my Dreams puppet interface tutorial, and I should have tutorials popping up at the top up here. There'll probably be tutorials at the end of the video also, so just, they'll be there. And just check that out for more information on animations and stuff like that. If you need more help, just check out my channel playlist for individual tutorials on logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more. That should be it, guys. Just check out my Dreams PS4 games on the Dreamverse. I'm Young Tech's YouTube on Dreams. So follow me there. And I hope you guys enjoy my games. Just check out my game Linger, and this is my game Polybius. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day, and help people out in the comments section if they need help, guys. Thank you guys so much for giving me your time, and peace out.